This episode of the Amp Hour is brought to you by NetBurner. Have you ever bought an embedded development kit that took a day or weeks to get to Hello World? Are there endless libraries requiring build after build? And do you find yourself banging on your desk, waiting for your application to compile and download, when all you want to do is test your code and get it out the door? NetBurner provides the easiest way to develop and deploy network-connected embedded devices. With a complete solution of hardware, software, and development tools, your prototype will be up and running in no time. For more info and a special listener offer, go to netburner.com/theamphour. This is the Amp Hour Podcast, recorded July 29th, 2013. Episode 156, Zesty, Zippy, Zynq.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble of Chris Gamble's Analog Life and Contextual Electronics.
And contextual, burning the candle at both ends there.
Yeah, you know, I feel like I'm jinxing it again, you know what I mean? Like every time I start adding that to my intro, I go and stop doing something, so I should probably not say that. I'm sure listeners are like, yeah, sure, Chris, whatever.
And
yeah,
you've
like
got a free beta program. Sorry, I can't do a good radio voice. Free. Yeah. No, sorry, I don't have a radio voice. Yeah. Why the hell I'm doing a radio show? I have no idea.
Yeah, the beta program is going to be free for people, and I don't know, it should be good. I mean, it's like it'll be not as long as the regular program, but it'll be basically people telling me what I'm doing wrong early on. Right. And that's the trade for the free, because there will be some stuff that I'll probably say wrong. Hopefully it won't be wrong, but...
Will you get those spongers who take the free program but don't give any feedback?
Oh, I'm trying to find people that aren't going to be like that, but I'm sure there'll be a couple. You always got to play those numbers game, you know?
Yeah. How many people are you going to get?
20 people.
20
people total.
On the beta program. All right.
So
beta if you're in Australia, beta if you're in the US.
What?
Huh?
Beta is what you buy if you're buying a crappy car in Boston.
Right.
What kind of car did you buy? I bought a Beta.
I haven't heard that term before. There you go.
Well, like beater? Never heard beater before?
No.
All right, fine.
No.
Speaking of Boston, we are... Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We are sponsoring the Open Hardware Summit, which is in Boston. That's exciting.
And you're going. You've got your
I found out today that I will be going, and we'll probably have an Amp Hour meetup, and we'll all toast Dave from afar once again.
You can. I'll send you my cardboard cutout, and you can carry it around.
That'd be great. That would be. Well, you were just talking about possibly going to a conference via Skype at one point.
No, yeah, that's right.
I could carry you around, man.
You could carry me around.
That would be creepy.
Or I could embed a tablet in. I could replace the head of my cardboard cutout.
Cardboard cutout, yeah.
With a tablet, and then I could Skype
really
the whole
creepy.
event. Yeah. we could get one of those cheap, $30 tablets or something, and
yeah, there you go.
Graft it on, yeah.
It's a low budget telepresence.
Yeah, exactly.
it'd be like a tablet version of Weekend at Bernie's, you know?
Right. Yeah. Be dragging me around everywhere.
Yep.
Great.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the summit. I mean, they start announcing some of the speakers and everything, and a lot of familiar names, and but you go for the people. It's always about the people.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what I'm pumped about. So
and I'm sponsoring it too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. EEV blog.
The EEV blog is also sponsoring it. Yep.
Yes.
So there'll be something in the bag.
That's right. The goodie bag.
Goodie bag from both the EEV blog and the Amp Hour.
Yes. We've been brainstorming about that, and hopefully we don't do anything that everybody else is doing. But
right. Oh, it's highly original. You can probably guess what mine is, but you know.
Yeah, right. No hints. No hints.
Oh dear. Anyway, but we're trying to put something useful in there. I talked Chris into it. See, Chris.
I was all about stickers.
You wanted like a sticker. You wanted a sticker.
I think stickers are
lame. Their stickers are shit.
Lame.
Stickers are shit.
They're a little lame, but you know what? They're also they're easy. You know what I mean? Not just for us, but also just for...
Yeah, but they're easy and useless. People just toss them out.
No. People like that stuff for laptops and everything.
No, they don't. 95% of people are going to toss a sticker.
Maybe. I don't know. I put a Mighty sticker on my laptop that Jeff gave me. I've got Dangerous Prototypes one. I mean, I've got a small collection going. I'm sure people would like the Amp Hour sticker. There will be stickers in the future. It's just a matter of Dave didn't want to put them in this goodie bag, so...
Let's take a snap Amp Hour poll, shall we? Can we put a poll on our website? Do people use stickers that they get in these bags?
That is a snap poll for sure.
Well, you want something useful? Oh, I can stick it on the forum. I can do polls on the forum easily.
There you go. Yeah.
And I'll show you.
All right.
I'll show you that people don't want stickers. Stickers alone. Next thing you know, it'll be like a patch, you know, like you sew onto your arm, you know. It'll be like, what the hell do you do with that? It's great if you're a scout.
I mean, some people like those. I think they're cool, but yeah, I agree. I don't really have anything I sew onto, but I like them. I saw Jaron, one of the guys that hung out with me in New York when I was getting glass. He actually took that patch and he gussied it up for with some LEDs and stuff for one of those Bring a Hack dinners out in Maker Faire.
Oh, right, cool.
So that's one thing. You know, you can integrate them on other stuff. Yeah. You could put stickers on your project. I'm just saying, swag bags are hit or miss on their own. So,
but everyone else is going to put a bloody sticker in there.
Yeah, because it's easy.
Exactly. Chris is a lazy ass. That's what we're getting at here.
That is. How about busy? Let's go with busy.
That's saying a lot because I set the benchmark for lazy ass.
That's right.
So
you know, new low. Yeah.
Chris is worse. Oh boy.
Yes, and we can see how lazy you are because you were riding around Sydney on some kind of little electric scooter, old school. I don't even know what this... I saw a picture of it, but I had no idea what I was looking at.
Son. This is a Sinclair C5.
It looked like a... Is it like a go-kart? I mean, it's not a real car. Is it like a golf cart or... What is this thing?
It's basically a trike. It's a bike. It's actually got pedals. You actually pedal it, but it's got a motor assist. Binary motor assist, on, off. There's no, there's no throttle on this thing. It's like, you turn the motor on and it helps you go, basically.
So there's a lazy option?
Well, there is a lazy option, but yeah, it's very underpowered. Well, it's got a 250-watt motor in it, or it's supposed to, but really, it's if there's any hill whatsoever, if there's any gradient at all...
you're pedaling?
Yeah, you're pedaling. Well, you pedal and use the motor at the same time, so it's not that hard. So you're not expending much energy. But yeah, it won't get you, from a dead start, to go in on any sort of gradient with just the motor. If you just hit the motor button, it'll just, sit there and. But this is
it'll just rev and.
Yeah, it'll just
any kind of little scooter thing like that. Do you guys have Power Wheels over there? Did you have that the little toy that kids can ride on?
Power Wheels, no?
Power Wheels. No?
Right.
It's part of my childhood.
Right.
I was supremely jealous of my friend down the street who had a little Jeep that it's just a little car battery and an electric motor basically.
Oh God, no, we had nothing like that.
Terrible recharge cycles. So you'd buy it and you'd get 30 minutes of battery, and then eventually it gets down to 5 minutes of battery.
Yeah. And then it's useless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what I always think of. But even with electric cars, I mean, I know that they're not anything like that, but it's just there's always that stigma in my mind of kind of as you're flooring the gas with a little plastic pedal, right, and you just kind of slow to a stop.
But anyway, I'm going to rub your nose in it because this thing was designed by Lotus. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Lotus.
All right.
I mean, they're impressive vehicles, but they're ugly to me. I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't really matter.
Anyway,
in the scheme of the electronics.
I think this thing looks cute. I think this thing looks awesome. The Sinclair C5. It's great.
Okay, so the real test is: would you actually drive one of these around every day of your life?
I could see myself doing it if I wasn't on really main... Like, I wouldn't drive one through the CBD of Sydney. You know, you would just get creamed. I mean, this thing has the nickname the Hedgehog for a reason. It's because people keep getting run over in it. You know, so... Yes. So
oh my God.
It was so dangerous that they had to fit flagpoles to them, right, so that everyone on the road could see them, right? Because otherwise,
I have to send you this picture. Hold on. Before we go any further, I have to send you a picture.
All right.
Oh my God. I know people can't see it. I'll post it in the show notes. But there's a picture of a guy with a poncho that goes over the outside of the entire scooter. Oh my God! So you were riding one of these, huh? This is really cool, Dave.
One of these puppies. Yep, Sinclair C5.
Oh my God!
They are great.
This is the nerdiest little thing I've. Oh, it gets even better. Oh yeah, pictures from Europe. Sorry, people from Europe. I don't know. Some of these pictures are just like, yep, that's about what I'd. Oh God, so many good pictures. So this came out in '85. I was 2 at the time.
1985. Yep. And they folded in 1985. So, yeah. Before they did, they sold 12,000 of them. And this was the highest selling electric car in the world until 2010.
Can you call this a car? Is that?
Well, Clive Sinclair did, so that's good enough for everyone else.
All right.
So it's a car.
Yeah, sure.
It's a personal transportation device, okay?
Okay, I'll go with that.
It's got a motor. It's got a little boot in the thing. You can drive it on the road. It's a car. Kind of. Okay. You know, and it was built down to a price. I mean, this sucker was only, I think, £399, right?
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
Back in the day, which is like, even counting for inflation, it's probably less than like $1,000, right?
Right. But
so this, you know.
So this is effectively like a sit-down Segway. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, well, probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
why were you doing this? That's what I wanted to hear. Where did this opportunity come from?
Well, somebody. Sorry, I forget who it is. Emailed me a link to an eBay auction which had a Sinclair C5 on it. And these things are rare in this country, right? There's less than a handful. There's like a handful of these in the country, and we were riding 2 of them on the weekend. You know, it's like it's not that many.
This is you and the wife. You guys.
No, me and Mao, my mate Mao, Faye.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, anyway, he's got 2 of them. And the reason he got 2 of them is because, like, somebody emailed me, one of my viewers emailed me this eBay auction, and I went, holy shit. It was $500, you know, and holy shit, I really want this. It's so cool, you know. But I knew I had nowhere to put it, right? And I actually did all the measurements. I went and measured the door to my lab.
Get it to a door.
And it wouldn't fit in the lab. You know, I'd probably have to take it apart, take the wheels off and everything. and so it wouldn't fit through. So I thought, you know, and the wife wouldn't let me keep it at home, of course. But she actually gave the approval to. She thought, oh, this is so cute. I want to ride too.
God.
So I had approval to buy this thing, but in the end, I didn't because I knew it'd just sit around and I wouldn't have time to devote to it and everything.
God.
But with hindsight, I bloody well should have.
Dude.
Because it's an investment. I could have easily got my money back.
I'm sure you could. No, I don't doubt that at all. Yeah, I don't doubt that. But
right. Anyway, so I thought, well, if I'm not going to bid on it, I might as well tell my mate Mao, who's into electric cars. You know, he builds his own electric cars.
Yeah, right.
And anyway, I think he bid on it, but it was outbid or something like that. Anyway, he didn't get it, but that piqued his interest in the Sinclair C5, and he found a guy who had actually imported 2 of them from the UK as part of his personal effects when he came over here. And this guy lives in an apartment now, and he said, look, if you can, I've got 2 of them. If you want to do them up, then you can actually, you can keep one. So he went,
oh, nice.
Holy shit, yeah, thank you very much. And so he's now got 2 Sinclair C5s. half of the number that are in this country. And so I just went to his place and we had a ride around and shot some video, of course, which will be going up today.
Of course.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah. And,
well, that's good. I look forward to see what's inside this thing. I mean, because the interesting thing about electric vehicles to me is just what?
Nothing.
Nothing's interesting. I mean, I think from the motors are interesting just because of the torque that you can get out of an electric motor. Obviously this one didn't have a lot because it didn't have a big battery pack.
It's got a 250 watt motor. There's a motor, a gearbox, a relay that switches the motor off and on, and there is a complex little gate array chip in there that actually does the battery monitor and stuff like that. It does have a little heads-up display that tells you, your battery and your motor torque and all that sort of stuff. But no, it's really bare bones, this thing. It's no more advanced than any of the powered bikes you can buy these days. Like you can go on eBay for $300, you can buy a powered bike. Just a regular ride-on powered bicycle, and it's just a motor and a gearbox. That's it, hooked onto an existing pedal drive chain, and that's it.
So the batteries are still the impressive,
sealed lead acid. 12 volt.
The thing that actually limits it is still the batteries, huh? Just because of the charge you need and everything.
In this thing, it'll be the battery and the motors. I mean, the motor's not hugely powerful, and it only drives one wheel, and it's got a motor on one wheel and the brake on the other wheel. So if you keep accelerating, you brake at the same time, it just veers to the right,
Nice. You burn some serious rubber, huh?
Yeah, that's it. And on the front, it's just got your regular brakes like you have on your bike. So, one of those... caliper brakes, are they? Those little pads, little bike caliper brake things. Yeah, and but I like it. Damn it.
Well, that's fine, man. I mean, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to like it if you want to.
But
the reason I bring up the torque though is because we have other stuff on our list about transportation and stuff, and so there's an interesting teardown of an electric skateboard as well, and I think that's really interesting just because you look at the compactness of it all, and that's where it really starts to get crazy because it's all contained underneath a skateboard, and it's
I almost got one of these when I bought the Lab. I thought, what options do I have for ride into the Lab? I've got my regular bicycle, right, and the other one was a skateboard, and then I got into looking at power skateboards, and then I was looking at electric bikes and stuff like that, and now I'm dreaming about driving my Sinclair C5 to the Lab.
Yeah. Well,
but these skateboards are great.
Yeah. They actually were a Kickstarter project too, which is I think I missed when these actually came out, but they actually did all custom electronics and everything, and I'm just impressed that they can deliver that kind of power just from. I don't think they get a lot of battery life out of the thing, but
no, they're not huge. But the reason I possibly wanted one of these skateboards is that it's so compact. Like it's a board on it's like from it's a board on wheels. Sorry, I had to quote Back to the Future there. And so you can just you can just hop on and off at any time, and you can just pick it up and take it into the Lab, and it takes up, you just...
right,
it doesn't take up any room.
The other thing is, too, that it has over the C5.
What's that?
You don't look like a total dweeb. You put on your little poncho and you strap yourself in. You're like, man, I'm going to work.
Well, you'd have the same poncho problem with the skateboard if you're riding that in the rain.
But you know what?
You'd look like even more of a dick because you're riding around with you'd look like a penis on a skateboard.
No, you know what? You'd pick up the skateboard, you get on a bus, and then you ride to work. Right? Try doing that with a C5. No, you put on your little poncho, you strap yourself in, ambiguously gay duo style looking thing, Yep. Ace and Gary.
Well, that's what I'm tossing up at the moment. I'm tossing up between getting a fold-in electric bike, right? One that you can fold up, just because, like most of the time, if I rode it to the Lab, I'd just leave it down in the car park and just park in my parking spot, and, or one of these powered skateboards, because they're just cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. It's very slick looking too. That's the other thing. So people should definitely check it out. It's all controlled by, I think it's controlled by nunchuck, like a Nintendo Wii style. And yeah, man, it's neat.
Yeah, I know. They weren't cheap though. They weren't cheap in this country.
No. No.
So they, you can pay like $1,000 for one of these, powered skateboards. Some of them are really serious business.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm going to. Maybe I should do a poll. What sort of powered transport should I get to go to the lab on? Which is cooler?
How about your legs? How about your legs? You've thought about that? Walking?
Yeah, I can do, but I just want to speed it up. I just want to. Well, it's the hills, and that's the other thing, right? I live in the hills district here, right? So there are hills. Right. So I doubt that one of these powered skateboards would actually get me up the hill.
You know what you should do? You should just throw caution in the wind and just buy a Tesla and get it over with. Just buy one, have it made in a robotic factory.
I want one, dude. They are just so awesome. I'm telling you. The future of cars is electric. Anyone who doesn't agree is wrong. I'm sorry, but you are wrong. You are going to lose. Right.
I totally agree. So this video is jaw-droppingly beautiful because it is a symphony of. It was Wired, right?
Yep. Yeah, Wired did the. Hats off for the editing on the video. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Very nicely shot.
And it only goes for 5 minutes, so.
Yeah, and the main actors though are the robots, and it's a nearly fully automated plant. I know there's a lot of people interaction still.
There's 3,000 people who work there.
Right, but that's for cranking out a lot of cars too. I mean, most car facilities are like that these days. I mean, it's not like Tesla doing this. There is a significant amount of automation in the automotive industry. And it's amazing.
Yep,
industrial robots are so cool.
Yep.
I walk around.
What I was impressed with, they do all the aluminium, like the entire body is aluminium, not aluminum, right? It's aluminium.
Of course,
and it looks like the entire body of the car is completely aluminium. They've got their own stamping and forming machines all in the factory, so they show you these, go along, like they come in big rolls of the stuff, and then they flatten it out, then they stamp it and mold it and press it, and it just pops out, and it's just magic.
Yes.
Oh, it really is.
It is a lot of fun to watch, especially from a distance because it's not as noisy. Manufacturing is still very dirty.
If you go there, it'd be
and loud and it is a symphony, but it's still a violent symphony. It's more like 1812 overture than like Mozart. Wait, who wrote 1812? That's I don't remember. Sorry.
Right.
Symphony fail. Did we talk about that new Ford prototyping thing 2 weeks ago?
Ford prototyping thing?
Yeah, so there was a thing, since we were talking about the sheet metal here, there's this really cool thing from Ford where they took, usually you have to, for the sheet metal stamping like they show in this Tesla video, the stamping is these huge presses, 50,000 pound press and stuff like that. But now there's this new tool from Ford where basically it's like on a gantry, like on a 3D printer. Instead of actually extruding plastic, what it does is it just, I think it heats either through a direct method of like applying like a heated tip or just from pressure. But basically it bends, it forms metal like just by one point at a time, and then it moves the point around in a predetermined shape, and it basically then deforms the metal, step by step by step, like
right. A
3D printer basically, and it's amazing. I mean, they're showing
would that give a smooth?
Yeah, I mean, if you go over it, enough, right? It's just like machining, right? With machining, you can do a rough pass, then you do
There's no way that can beat the speed of a huge stamped press. Surely.
No. This is for prototyping only.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
It's because, but I mean, it's just like doing PCBs, right? If you're, if you're trying to do, a full blown PCB with 12 layers, right? Or just well, this is a bad example actually. But basically, the idea is that the prototyping's so much faster, just because you don't have to send it out, you don't have to, if there's a big mistake, you don't have to retool. It's just very custom type of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's gorgeous watching this kind of stuff.
You know what I liked?
Future's exciting.
The best thing I liked in that Tesla video was that robot that did three things. 3 different things.
Oh, yeah.
It would install the seat, right? So it grabs the seat and then it twists and turns it. So it puts it through the door and then it rotates it and puts it in place and anchors it down and everything.
Yep.
And then the machine comes back out and changes its own tool head and then goes and installs the bloody windshield.
Yeah.
like,
That's killer. It's amazing.
It's fantastic. These
makes me wonder, maybe robots are kind of the thing. We should start doing that. We should work on my motor drive skills.
But these things cost like $1 million each. These aren't cheap.
Well, yeah, they're coming down though. I mean, that's what we've talked about in the past with Baxter. That it's a company out of Boston, Personal Robotics or something like that. I forget the name of the company, but it's that little red plastic-looking robot with a real, kind-looking, googly-eyed screen, basically, and it's the same kind of idea, but very cost-reduced and made to be friendly. Basically, that's only $22,000. Rethink Robotics, that's the one.
Yep. And that's chicken feed for a car manufacturing or an automated plant. That's like $22,000. God, I can remember, we would piss that away on one little, tool in.
Oh, you pay that wire, man.
Yeah, I know. Some of the factories I worked in.
But it's not meant for that. That's meant for very low. I mean, these industrial robots are, million cycle, 10 million cycle kind of machines. They're insane and awesome.
I know. I can just watch that video. Actually, have you seen somebody linked in the comments? There's a 1-hour version of that video. It's not from Wired, but it's one of those. It's that TV show. That mega building, mega building show.
I know what you mean.
Yep. There's a
ruined my
link
evening,
to that.
Dave.
I know.
I'm not getting anything done tonight now.
Well, neither am I. I'm going to have to watch it after this.
Jeez.
But yeah, it goes for an hour. Yep. All about. Yep. Yep.
Damn.
I know. So we'll have to link that one in as well, and we can waste an hour of your day too, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry. But it's an hour well spent because it's just awesome.
Well, speaking of automation and things that'll make your jaw drop, I have been alerted to a jaw-dropping tool.
Warning, Will Robinson. Warning.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this comes from Ben, and he wrote this script. It's so people know what Grease Monkey is. It's like a script platform for Firefox, and then there's a similar one for Chrome called Tamper Monkey. And basically, he wrote a script that refactors DigiKey. So like it takes, you just do a DigiKey search, right? Many people a lot of people, listeners use DigiKey, and it takes it and their arguably very crappy interface, all text, not super friendly, and it makes it awesome. Yeah.
Now, warning, folks, superlatives are coming.
Yes,
because Chris just rattled off. Yeah, he just talked my head off 5 minutes before the show about
well, it's
how wonderful
it's just
this
like
thing is.
Stuff that it's one of those things where it's like first off, we've talked about it on the show before, and we're not claiming any input on this, but just stuff that we've talked about before with trying to replicate catalog view type of like leafing through a catalog and stuff like that. And just making it easier to use and everything. Like everybody's used DigiKey before, and it's not super friendly. It's just the people are used to the convention of it.
And it gets the job done. You just brute force it, and it does the job. And
right.
Yeah.
So so you install the script, and basically, so then you search for something like LED, right? And then you get the billions and billions of results that they send back. Right, with lots of different, basically anything that mentions an LED, even like a RJ45 jack, right, that has LED mentioned in it. And you might actually want that for some reason. You might actually have been searching for that for whatever reason. But what you can do is then you can just mouse over, like I'm mousing over circular connectors housings, right? And it's just doing a preview of the first 100 images from that, from the search page, and it's just like, of course. And then as you dive down into the search results and stuff too, you can start. It gives you the previews again, and you can actually get up to, I think, I don't know how many, but basically you mouse over anything and it starts having preview windows, and you can knock out different columns of the search table for if you want to simplify your parametric search. And then as you dive down into an actual part, there's something called Well, first off, it does an auto loader of the data sheet too, so you don't actually have to download the data sheet. It'll just preview it in the pane. And as you mouse over everything, it'll like... So then there's the filter in reverse, which is probably my favorite thing here so far, and it actually allows you to like... So if you select something and you're like on a 0603 resistor, and you like that it's a 2K resistor, but you don't like any of the other specs there, you just click 2K, and then it'll filter in reverse and only show you all the 2Ks, even outside of that search, basically.
That's one of the most annoying thing about DigiKeys. You always have to go back multiple levels through your parametric search. You've got to hit the back button, and you've got to remember how many times to go back, and then you've got to go forward again. So you're always going back and forth, and
right. You know, and it's tough too, right? I mean, I think we've complained about DigiKey before, but basically what we came to is that like they're a huge database with a daily operations. You're not just going to halt that stuff, right? You have to make incremental changes versus big changes for that kind of stuff. But in this case, it's just like overlaid over top the database, so who cares? And it's awesome. I mean, it's just stuff that you need, you know, like it gives you... Where was the other thing? There was something about like... this is it. If you actually go to a search and then you mouse... If it gives you like the parametric search list, basically, and then you mouse over stuff, it'll give you like pricing. Where is it? Yeah, so if you mouse over single quantity pricing, it'll just preview up to 1,000 price break type of stuff. Like stuff you're just doing anyways.
Yep.
And then there's a cart too.
Calm down. I
know.
Breathe.
I'm sorry. I'm sure that like people that are fans of Element 14 or Newark or Mauser or whatever, it's like that a lot of people say, oh, well, other people have this, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. It's just I use DigiKey a lot, and so that's why
you're excited.
I go back there, Yeah. So
you're just going to put this on a tablet and just go to bed and just fondle your DigiKey script, aren't you?
I don't know if it would work on a tablet. Your wife's just going to
look at you and roll her eyes, and
I guess it probably would work on a tablet because like my phone has Chrome on it now, so I guess I could probably install this on my phone too.
Oh goodness!
I don't know if the script stuff works on phones, but yeah, man. Dave hasn't had enough. I just got Dave to look at this right before the show, so he doesn't have many superlatives yet, but he'll get there.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, anyways, check it out. We'll have it in the show notes. And nice job to Ben. It's pretty killer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Someone will end up buying him for a fortune. Speaking of which,
yes. Which one?
Hackaday. Hey, we've got some news follow-up straight off the teletype.
Yeah.
Yes. Somebody did pony up and buy Hackaday.
Somebody, yeah. Who was it, Dave?
What?
Come on.
As if I had anything to do with it. Yeah. I didn't have anything. They just happened to sponsor my forum as well.
Yeah.
Supply Frame. AKA, nobody knows who Supply Frame. They're the finechips.com people. Everyone's used Fine Chips, right? That awesome little, supplier
search box on the EV
search box for multiple prices from multiple suppliers, right? So which your script doesn't do. Your whiz-bang script,
that's true.
Doesn't do magic like that when you try to find the cheapest part. Anyway, finechips.com. Yes, they have bought Hackaday. Presumably for $450K. We're not entirely sure, but that's kind of the price that. What's his name? What's the guy's name? Who owns Hackaday?
It is Jason.
Jason
Calcanis. Yeah.
Yes, Jason. Yes, he threw that figure out there that he had a bid for $450K and several lower bids. So more than one person bid on it, but Supply Frame got the deal, and it's signed, I presume, and they've all announced it. And Supply Frame are now the owners of Hackaday, and I couldn't think of anyone better, really.
Yeah, it's great.
Because they're very neutral. They're very. That's why I loved it when they sponsored the forum, because they're so neutral in everything, and they're because they don't have anything to sell, so to speak. They're like it's can you imagine what would happen if Element 14 bought them? Right, it'd be like bye Hackaday. So
That's nice to say,
they
Dave.
would have just ruined it. No, well, they've got their own. They work on, they've got their own systems and their own
editorial
ideas
calendars
about
and stuff
how
like
things
that. Yeah,
work.
I know what
and,
you mean.
I mean, that's just the way that they do things, and the way that Supply Frame do things is that they generally just don't touch it. They just want to put their little fine chip search box there, and they want to, put a couple of their ad network, and they just want their name there, and that's it. And generally they'll go, well, look, we'll just, fund you and hands off. Yeah. Plus they get it. I think these guys get it. Well,
they've only made one big mistake so far. So
what's that?
Didn't figure that one out, huh?
No. Oh, sorry.
It's you.
What?
You were the.
Oh, me.
You were
No, I still don't get it.
It was a joke, Dave.
Right. Okay, thank you. No, I'll probably get it after the show and then I'll laugh. Yeah, because you're poking fun at me, but okay.
Right, yeah. Anyways,
My mind's not
I'm glad they're going to be sticking around, and that's the main thing. As long as they're sticking around, that I like Hackaday a lot. So
yeah, well,
good stuff.
But I think Hackaday is a classic example where if nobody bought it, that crowdfunding campaign was not going to work. That was never going to work.
No, I didn't think it was either.
That's the thing with a website like this that has no original content. It can just vanish overnight because if the editors just packed up and left and went for hackperday.com, started up Hack Per Day, then I think most people would have left. Did we talk about that the other week? Maybe.
Yeah, we did.
But yeah, I think most people would have left, and Hackaday would have just folded. So yeah, I think Jason's very lucky to get that. So
yeah, good stuff, man.
Good on him.
Well, what else we got this week? Man, we got our usual slew of crowdfunded projects, but
right.
So a small trend that I've seen that I think is interesting from an electronics perspective: 2 different projects with the Xilinx Zynq chip on it. Have you seen that chip at all? You looked at that?
I haven't really looked at in any detail, so no. I won't talk out my ass on that.
Oh yeah, well we can do that. We can hang with that. I was really excited about this chip when it came out because it's kind of like the holy grail of, embedded processor plus flexible fabric plus everything else.
It's a system on chip. It's a system on chip. So it's got an
kitchen
ARM
sink,
processor with FPGA, around it, and it's got and it's got it's a dual. It's a dual ARM 1 gig processor, A9 processor.
The A9. Right,
and plus with FPGA fabric around it. I don't know what other goodness it's got in there, but yeah,
it's got. I think it depends on the model. You know how usually the FPGAs
of course,
have like a big
there's 20 different models. Yeah,
so they have transmit. The high speed SerDes transmitters, and
of course
they've got hard logic memory controllers for. For using like setting DDR2 to 3.
I got the block diagram up. It's got USB. It's got 2 USB. It's got 2 gigabit Ethernet. It's got SDIO. It's got UART, 2 UARTs, 2 CANs, 2 I2C, 2 SPI. So it's got all your normal microcontroller type stuff. It's got RSA security built in. So it's got 2 analog to digital converters.
Yeah. The nice thing is that. In reality, aside from the analog to digital converters, all of those things are possible in Fabric anyways, because it's just an FPGA, right? I mean, you just did that video on FPGA. You did two videos on FPGAs, right?
Yes.
You did, what was the other one was JTAG,
right? The other was the JTAG, which was associated.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, if people don't, obviously go watch Dave's video on FPGAs.
Yep.
I actually watched that one, Dave. You got
Excellent.
one. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. But yes, as you say, this could have been done. You can put all this stuff in a normal FPGA. It's just that this is the direction FPGAs are headed because it's more efficient silicon-wise to embed these hard modules in there. So that you don't have to
It's so cheap to do that.
Yeah,
from a logic perspective, right? Because you already have these blocks in other things. You just drop them in now. They're just IP blocks that you drop in and verify, and then you do it once.
Yep.
And it's tough too from a licensing perspective because ARM usually, except for the very low end stuff, I think there's a couple ARM cores that they'll license out to put into soft logic. Most of the time, they'll only work with bigger vendors to, because you have to sign
to do chips,
yeah, the big agreements and everything. So, yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, like it's a cool part. It's definitely pricey. I mean, but for everything that's in there, it's.
Yep.
Was there? I don't have the block diagram up. Is there a DC to DC in there too?
There is no DC to DC that I can see. It's not shown in the block diagram.
Which isn't too surprising, I guess, because...
Well, no, because that's analog crap, right? And they don't...
No, I'm seeing these... Dude, people are pulling in DC to DC converters now, too. They'll
they
leave
are
the...
into the... Yeah.
Yeah,
because
at least the controller.
It's not really analog. Yeah, it's, there's just huge MOSFETs in there for switching, right? And but they've got to have like op amp in there, and for the feedback.
See, I think it depends on the vendor and the process too. Like so,
of course.
What was the one process? So there's not new process, but there's a process out there called BCD, which is bipolar, CMOS, and then DMOS. All they can put them all in the same wafer now, and that's what's allowing like analog vendors to start putting. Like crazy. They'll put like state, either state machines in, or they're starting to roll in actual ARM cores. Like there's a couple, with like they'll have an ADI or A to D on there rather. I was thinking of an ADI part. It'll have an A to D on there, and then it'll actually have like a Cortex M3 on there too. So you actually can do that kind of stuff.
We're talking about smaller chips there. I mean, these FPGAs are still bleeding edge, right? Process technology.
Yeah.
So they're very limited to what process technology they can use to get this thing. So that's probably why they didn't incorporate it, because they can't.
Right, and that's the same reason that like you won't have as good of a to D on there as well, right? It's like a 12-bit A to D on there and stuff. Like you'll see that in a lot of processors too. They'll just throw in A to Ds because they're just sigma delta, small time 12-bit A to Ds because the process can handle it and the noise level's acceptable enough that a 12-bit's not that big. I mean, it's a big deal still. It's not like I could just whip one up in my basement or anything. But it's not like a 24-bit type of thing. You actually have to do some kind of external FETs and stuff like that to actually get lower noise process stuff.
And I believe they don't have flash. They don't have the configuration memory built in as well. Once again, like most FPGAs, or the majority of FPGAs, you need the external chip. I think. Don't quote me on that. It does have a flash controller built in, but that's not.
Yeah, that's for like
the
bigger.
Same as
because this is meant to run.
Parts.
Like you're going to see people running basically like Android or Linux basically on this thing because it's set up as
a system on chip.
Yeah, it's
exactly
effectively a smartphone
implies.
with FPGA bolted to it.
Yeah,
it's all
it's
on
got
the same
two
thing.
1 gig processors in it. Holy crap!
Yeah.
It's got DSP and FPU engines and holy goodness.
Yeah.
Yep.
And apparently it's a fan of rap because it has a Snoop control unit.
I was going to say, my favourite module in there is the Snoop control unit.
Yeah, Snoop.
Jeez, we're childish, aren't we?
I just love Snoop Dogg, man. Or Snoop Lion now.
Okay. What? Let's
Snoop
not
Dogg?
get in. No, let's not get in.
No, come on. Snoop Dogg has become Snoop Lion. Everybody knows this.
I did not know this. And I still do not give a toss. So, let's move on.
So back to the fact that the DC to DCs aren't on here. That's interesting because, I had predicted, or at least the trend I had been hearing about is that, they've been going to simpler rails, right? Where you'd have maybe like one or two, you'd have an I/O power supply for these kind of things to actually power, maybe 3.3 on the outputs of these things. And then you'd have a core voltage, just a single core voltage like 1.5, and it can divide it down to all the different internal voltages and the DDR voltages that you need in order to actually use DDR RAM. But it doesn't really seem like that.
No,
at least not with these fancy, parts. And I don't think any of the other. Yeah, I don't think the power supply vendors care because they want to be like, you need 8 DC to DC controllers in one chip, Yeah. You need 16 different rails for your FPGA part? We can do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's always a pain in the ass. I mean, I've developed FPGA development hardware, of course, and they're not so on some of the larger parts. The number of rails that you need is just It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, it really is a pain
I didn't
in the
understand
ass.
why that happens.
And they've got to be high current,
like,
so you've got to have like a switch-in regulator on each one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and then if you need like separate inductors for everything, that just starts. You start putting inductors on board. You start ramping your cost and stuff too, and
the power supply is bigger than the system on chip. Just the inductors alone can be bigger than the entire FPGA. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Well, I think we talked about it on here. I think the reason that I was looking at a lot of the pulling DC to DCs on board and stuff was because I went to a conference at one point where they were talking about like the switching speed of these converters going up into like 30 megahertz, kind of range, so you can get super
Ouch,
small.
That gets hard on the magnetic side.
Well, it gets hard on the leakage side, but the magnetics get super small.
Well, the magnetics become smaller, but yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah, the leakage side of things, it just
the
becomes...
leakage and the switching losses go up a lot.
Once you get to a megahertz, you start getting, you start really having to pay attention. Once you get to a couple of megahertz, you really got to,
Yeah. I don't know. I've done a 4 megahertz switcher before. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but you got to pay attention to what you're doing, especially if you want the best performance. You can't just go pick a part out of your junk box willy nilly.
No, you're doing that. You're doing that a lot for big products these days, Dave. You're going just to the junk box. I think those days might be over.
I've got a 741 in my junk box. I'll use that in my leading edge project.
I'll hook together my 555 boost like I did for Maker Faire last year.
Yeah.
I think I calculated it as 30% efficient. A lot of people love that kind of efficiency these days.
Yeah.
And battery would really last.
Yeah.
So these projects though that are using the Zynq part. There's two different projects. The first is interesting because it's claiming to be like a catch-all high-speed measurement platform. Basically saying that they're putting external DAC, high-speed DAC, high-speed ADC, and then the Zynq, and basically. Saying that I think there might be a front end in front of it too. This is the red. Oh, where is it? The red. I keep forgetting the name. Pitaya or something like Pitaya. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce that one either. Red.
Right.
Papaya or something.
Not papaya.
No.
Oh, how did I lose this link? Every time I lose this. Here we go. Yeah, red Pitaya. And so, they have, a couple high-speed capture parts on there, basically. Right. And then, they're saying that you could use this for scope-type functions and for SDR-type functions and lots of different things. Signal generator, spectrum analyzer, a lot of stuff. And basically, the ultimate goal being that it's flexible and that you could buy it and reconfigure it for whatever you needed to use. And that alone is very, very interesting. I mean, I think ultimately it comes down to the analog front end that's going to matter a lot. I mean, like you've done on your teardowns, scopes are effectively big analog fancy front ends.
It's all about the analog front end. That determines the entire performance.
I think we can
product.
all agree that analog is probably the most important thing in the world, right, Dave?
Right.
Yes. Nothing to say about that amazing, mixed SoC behind it with 2 A9 cores and FPGAs
exactly,
and stuff.
which is phenomenal bleeding edge technology. Yeah, and it all comes down to how well do the bloody FETs work in the front end.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get around it. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
You can measure noise all you want, but it's not going to tell you much. So yeah, this is it's a cool video. I mean, it's a cool little product, and suggest that people check it out. It's let's see, the campaign's got another. Oh, they did one of those long campaigns, 50 days to go. Right. Yeah, they've already hit their goal and everything. But like I said, having access to the Zynq without, because I think the Zynq dev board I saw, that Zynq 7000 dev board was like a couple grand when it came out, like $3 or $4 grand.
Right. Ouch.
So now it's actually getting into products. You can actually, this is relatively hackable. They give you some breakout headers and stuff too, and obviously there is an analog front end, and yeah, so you can you can get signals in and out, and you can play with it and develop your own stuff if you wanted to at the end, and that's pretty cool,
Can we go on to a big ass? Yeah, might as well do. Yay! Every week we're going to have a crowdsource campaign.
Well, that one was too.
But this one's $32 million, folks.
Wait, what about the other Zynq part? I thought we were going to do that first. That was the other thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Crap, I forgot it. Ah.
Hey, we're 48 minutes in and we haven't even mentioned our sponsor.
Okay. We will in a second. It's the Parallella. That's the other one. That's that
right.
parallel processing supercomputer thing. That's $100. So that's even cheaper than the red Pitaya. So that's the other one. Sorry. But we should definitely mention our sponsor.
I can't believe we're going for 49 minutes.
I know. Just yapping. Yes, so NetBurner. NetBurner, this is our last show with NetBurner for right now. But they have been very generous with us, and they have a very cool product that we've talked about the past couple weeks. We have the mod kit 52418, I think. Or was it? No, sorry, 54418.
I've got to complain about their model numbers. It's like, HP model numbers. Where do they get these from?
That's based on the part from the Freescale part that's on board. So that's how they actually correlate that.
Of course, they correlate it.
So
that makes sense.
Thing we tried,
I retract my criticism.
Yeah, you see it now?
Numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing we tried this week actually is the application builder. Basically, it's a very fast way to get started. We'll post a video to actually show you how you can get started.
It's almost instant.
Yeah,
it's ridiculously simple.
Yeah, so you plug in your board on the network. You go through. It's just like a simple project setup in Eclipse. They have their own little flow, but basically you just select what you want on board, what you actually want to download to it. Like web server, DC.
I want a web
DHCP.
server. I want auto updating. I want DHCP. I want all this in my project. And you tick the boxes and you press go, and it and it builds your project
zips it right up to it.
And then, gives you a hello world, and then you just type in your code underneath.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the really cool thing is, so like I was just playing around with the web page. There's like an included HTML page that comes in there so you can use for troubleshooting with like the web server and everything. I updated it. I added the amp hour rules to the index.html. I hit save, and then the auto update function, because I actually included that in the build, it just zipped it right up to the, over the network, completely in the background to me, which, for my speed of development, that's amazing. Usually that would be 2 hours later, I'd finally get it uploaded and everything, especially since it's over the network. So that's really cool. Yeah. So people can go to netburner.com/theamphour, and you can get a 20% discount on kits, and you can find out more about their programs and all the development environment and everything. It's a very, very good deal. So check it out.
Definitely check it out. I agree.
All right. So where were we going next?
Speaking of ridiculous Indiegogo campaigns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
this is interesting.
$32 million. The Ubuntu Edge. Yeah. It's a phone. It's a smartphone. Right. Yes, it's a open whatever. Is it open?
It's not going to be like open hardware, but it'll be.
No, right.
No.
But it's designed for the software geeks, I think, or something. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? We won't harp on about it. But they're after $32 million, right? And they've already raised $7 million, and there's 23 days left. They might actually make it.
They might just do it. I mean, basically, it's like buying an off-contract phone. That's effectively the price they're asking for. Yeah, and it's impressive hardware. It's it's obviously consumer level, so it's a little out of our roundhouse usually, but or wheelhouse.
But there's a reason why it's on Indiegogo and not on Kickstarter, because they don't have a prototype, folks. Yes, they're asking $32 million, and it's just some Photoshop renders of the final product. I think, anyway. I don't know. I haven't watched the video. Probably talking out my ass.
Yeah, it does just look like renders, but it's a nice looking phone, but the impressive thing is the actual fact that they're asking for so much money. So we'll see.
$32 million, and it's not, it's not easy to manufacture a high quality phone. And not cheap either. And if you think $32 million might be able to do it, well, you might be wrong.
Yeah,
you know,
there's so much tooling and everything. You know, it's just
it's just setting up the factory to churn them out, and the
amount of
thing
phones
is,
you
a
need
lot
to
of
get there.
factories won't touch you, right? They'll go, oh, you want how many phones? 10,000, even 50,000? They'll just laugh in your face, right? Because the big manufacturers are boasting they're selling hundreds of thousands of phones per day. Right, you know, it's like
it's crazy. I mean, well, and people have seen,
time.
I mean, if you look at the videos of just like Foxconn factories making Apple stuff, I mean, just the scale of it is amazing. So it's
so
good luck.
Good luck if you expect to get your phone anytime soon. Yeah,
well, yeah,
but yeah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. But yeah, I mean, well, that's really shooting for the clouds, right? I mean, that's really going for broke. I can't imagine it getting any campaign being any bigger than that. I mean, $32 million to do something that you take for granted is a commodity item you just walk into your shop and buy.
Yeah,
really. I mean, wow, That's
there are a lot of people in the world, Dave. I mean, there's a lot of a lot of money out there. So
yep, true.
You know what my favorite part of my smartphone / Google Glass is?
What's that?
All weekend I was playing with the translate function. So,
right.
You tap the side, right? You say, "How do I?" This was in like one of the promo videos too, but how do I say this transistor is broken in Chinese, right? And it'll actually say it for me, and then it'll show it in the little screen. And I realized that this is like the perfect device for going to like markets, right? And then my friend actually told me today too. He's like, "Well, you're skipping or you should skip a step. Basically, I should just get a speaker and then I say it into that."
Yeah, of course, and then it speaks it. Yeah.
It just speaks it, right? I was thinking, oh yeah, of course I'm going to say it wrong, right? But like that is like the most brilliant application for like actual like human interaction stuff.
Well, I think you can get apps. Can't you get apps that do that now for your phone?
I mean it's Google, right? I mean that's Google. You can do that now for Google. It's just a little more discreet.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, man, I never thought of it before. I was just playing with it anyways, and then I started thinking about like going overseas because that's I wouldn't say a fear of mine, but I'm very apprehensive about going overseas.
It's a big deal. Yeah, I mean
like language barriers and stuff. Because I was in Korea for a while, and it's just embarrassing when you don't know the language.
Exactly. It's more embarrassing than anything, and it's just harder to get things done. Really,
oh,
when
definitely.
You can't.
Yeah. So like all the people we have this article here how Ian from Dangerous Prototypes, he just moved to Shenzhen as well, right? We know a couple people over there now, and it's like that would be the first thing I would do. Obviously, you have access to this huge marketplace, but if you don't have someone with you that speaks Mandarin, you're kind of screwed, right? I mean, should be the first thing you do when you go over there, because otherwise, why are you there? I mean,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, pointing and grunting only does so much, right? I mean, haggling is an important factor in any marketplace environment. So, the fact that Google might allow me to swear and and tell people they're ripping me off,
right. So, screw you! I can go to the guy 2 booths down and get half the price.
Exactly. Yeah, you need like a phrase book, right? Like,
right. Oh dear.
And then there's always the fear. Did you ever see that Monty Python skit with John Cleese, the tobacconist?
No, I don't think so.
There's like a prankster that gives him a bogus translation book, and he starts saying all these wrong things in Dutch.
Nice.
It's very good.
Especially if you understand Dutch.
Oh no! Basically, he ends up getting punched a couple times.
Awesome.
And they have the little translations on screen and everything. It's good. Yeah. But so Google's also working on and they've talked about this as well from a broader perspective, right? I mean, this is a huge data project. The electronics for it is impressive too, just from the it's mostly a microphone, but then you gotta do DSP on it and stuff like that, and actually get you actually have to capture all the phonemes and all that stuff that's language based,
and then you've got to understand the Australian accent.
Right. Well, good luck with that, buddy.
Which doesn't work. Yeah, exactly. It only works for you Yanks.
Yeah. But then, so I saw an
doesn't
article,
work
though.
speaking strine.
Strine?
Strine.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're saying right now.
Strine, mate.
Strine, right. I know what it
strine,
really
mate.
is. It's strine, right.
No worries, mate. She'll be right.
Google's actually working on a babelfish or babelfish, depending how you say it. Basically, to have the other side of the... So if Dave is speaking strine to me, it could understand him and then translate it to something that's understandable for me. Because I'm like, what are you talking about, you crazy Aussie? And yeah, so it's very exciting. It's
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
It'd be very useful if I went overseas anymore.
Right, of course. Yes.
Exactly.
We'll get you over here eventually.
Right. Our hour's up. But we're going to
No.
soldier on.
No, we can keep
Because
going.
we've got a ton of stuff to talk
do.
about.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been submitting links too, so thank you for that. That's
yeah, thank you very much. Because
I'm sure
I don't.
I'll go through at the end of this and actually
I'm hopeless.
grab one that people added,
Right. Can we go? We've got a shonky product of the week. Shonky product of the week.
The one that you did add? Is that the one that you were talking about?
Yes, the one thing I did add.
Go ahead.
It is outbooster.com, the internet speed booster. Somebody sent this, so sorry, I forget who sent it to me. They emailed it to me. And it's a little dongle thing, and it's got Ethernet in, Ethernet out, no power by the looks of it, right? So it's just Ethernet in, Ethernet out, and it speeds up your internet connection.
Thank God.
Yes, folks, and just look at the website, and it's just and oh God, and it apparently, if you leave it in there for 30 days or whatever, it learns all about your internet connection and, learns and adapts and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
Optimizes, yes. Oh, boy. With no, it's just Ethernet in, Ethernet out, folks.
Is it really just a pass-through? Is that all it is?
Well, I don't know what's inside, right? But it's obviously not much, right? Because there's... our technology is exclusive and patent pending. Oh, goodness. Yeah, folks, if this one works, I'm a monkey's uncle.
His name's Bob.
Well, actually, I'm sure it works, just like the $10,000 speaker cables work. If you spend money on it,
Yeah, it'll just
bet you it works for you,
all in your mind, right?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, boy. Maybe they'll hear the show and they'll send us one. We can do a teardown.
Free
I bet
samples.
you it's potted inside.
Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. So,
Because
in
it's
terms of things
patented.
that other people have sent in, Daniel Amesberger, he actually sent in a pick-and-place machine he's been working on. This is actually like, he's calling
Not
it
another
DIY.
do-it-yourself. Because, my hat's off to people who work on them, right? They're cool projects just because they're robots and they pick and place components.
Yeah, but this
right?
is a little different too. It's not like, because this isn't like, we've seen one where it's like a MakerBot style frame, right? Where it's just a little tiny thing. This thing's like 80-20 style. Like this looks pretty beefy.
Hang on, I haven't got this one open.
Okay. Yeah, and so I asked him about it, like just asking how much in parts. He said just in parts it's about $6,000 or $7,000, I think. So I mean, like this is.
Geez, you can buy a used machine for that almost.
Yeah, well, yeah, we were talking to Ryan about it the other week, and basically, I think Ryan said he paid like 15 or 16 for that refurbed one or something like that.
Right.
And I don't remember how much it was exactly, but I think it was like anywhere from like 15 to 25 for a refurbed older condition one. And so 6 or 7K. I mean, like that's the thing. Like it's the same in all kind of mechanical things. Like heavy stuff is expensive, right? Because it's just a lot of material there.
Exactly.
And then if you want high powered, stepper motors or actuators and stuff like that, like it's not cheap, right? I mean, like even Ryan talking about the expensive feeder mechanisms and stuff like that, like there's just a lot of metal there. It's just a lot of mechanical engineering stuff. So this looks great so far. I mean, honestly, it's a great looking video.
He agrees with me. He mentions me in the article. The TM220, the $4,000 toy-like pick-and-place machine, as I called it, he is completely with me on that. So there you go. Because it has no vision. It's got, it's just it's pretty dumb pick-and-place. Those ones that you can pick up from China now for a couple of grand.
Right. Right, and then the other thing to point out about this, I guess, too, is that so the $6,000 or $7,000 in parts, right? But this is low quantity parts too. So
of course, this is all one-off stuff.
Yeah, if Daniel takes this and starts to commercialize it, you can start to optimize for bulk buys and stuff like that. So there would be there would be optimization there, but. In terms of like if he sold it, then basically whatever you make up in volume pricing, you're probably going to charge that to your customers, and so it's safe to assume probably $6,000 or $7,000 just for the final product if he optimized the manufacturing.
Easy, yeah.
So
at least, and he's from Austria, not Australia.
Not Australia,
and that's what he talks about. He talks about Ryan, who bought the $16,000. Used pick and place machine, but of course, you can get them that cheap if you're in the States. They just toss them away. They're a dime a dozen. All these companies are closing because America's going down the toilet. Blah 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 blah. And no worries. And good to see they're building cars again, as we talked about. But
yes, that's right.
American manufacturing. Anyway,
houses are being built too.
Oh, what? Isn't there like 40,000 abandoned houses in your bankrupt state of Detroit?
In my backyard.
Sorry. Yeah. In your backyard and in Cleveland too.
Yeah.
At least we're not Detroit, which declared bankruptcy. If people don't know, the entire state of Detroit declared bankruptcy.
City of
officially.
Detroit.
The city of Detroit. Sorry, it's not a state. Oh.
Yeah.
Slap over there with a wet fish. All right.
You're right, though. It is harder to get surplus equipment. In certain parts of the world.
I wouldn't be able to get one here in Australia.
Right.
Turns out you can't
if you could
get
a Sinclair C5, you'd have to
price.
just build your own, right?
Yeah. That's right.
You'd have to sew your own little poncho and strap yourself in with the little poncho thing.
Yeah.
Oh, people got to see this picture. It's so awesome.
It's not that funny.
Oh, come on.
What else are you supposed to do if you're riding a bike in the rain? Of course you put a poncho on, otherwise you get wet.
It looks like someone climbed into their child's play school tent. There happened to be a tricycle inside. They popped their head out the top. They hopped on the tricycle, and then they started wildly pedaling around. Oh, my God.
Boy. Oh, goodness. Yeah. All right.
At least Sinclair's not in business anymore. I don't feel bad making fun of them.
Oh, no, he's talking about bringing it back. He's talking about he's got a new vision. Yeah, he's got a new vision for the future. And,
well, good luck to him. He can do it.
Sir Clive.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get him on the show.
Maybe.
Who would like to see that? Hands up. Physical show of hands here. Who would like for us to try and get Sir Clive Sinclair on the show? That'd be awesome.
Anyone? Bueller?
Anyone?
Bueller?
Hello? Anyone out there? No, I can't see anything out the class here in the corridor. No, there's no one outside waving.
Yeah.
No. All right.
All right, so one last submitted link. This comes from Mike, and basically he had actually sent us an email, but his folks were digging up is in his backyard. They were digging up the shed, and basically his dog started chewing on something, and it's a little Bakelite terminal so it's a General Electric improved electric coupling from the 20s, made out of Bakelite. It's really cool. It's like just this little old thing, basically for hooking wires together. But his dog was gnawing on it, and so he pulled it out and sent us a picture of it. It's
awesome. It's a rusted it's a rusted turd, really, but
no, that's the thing. That's not rust. That's Bakelite. The brown part is Bakelite.
Is it? I just assumed that was.
I thought so too at first, but yeah, it's
okay.
It's got like little machine threads and everything too.
Yeah,
so.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you first look at it, you're like, oh, it's just old, right?
It's just it's an old rusted bit of,
Yeah, Bakelite,
interesting.
Man. That stuff was in everything.
Oh,
I got an old radio case made out of Bakelite.
Yep.
Sanding that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably have some carcinogens in my body now.
Yeah.
some more, of course.
Well
but
done.
yeah, and that's like the same stuff that Bill and Dave used to have when they started up HP.
They
their wives
were baking them in their oven. Yeah,
in the oven. Yep.
Baking those Bakelite front
house.
panels. Yeah.
That is DIY, man.
That's cool shit. I like it.
Yeah. Any other links that we should point out? I put up a list of analog newsletters. I was looking through those today. Those are always fun. I'll put the link in.
Yeah, because you've got a hard-on for analog. We know.
Yes.
Yep.
It's my life, man.
Google have come out with some
until it goes away.
Right. Google have come out with some Google TV dongle thing for $35. Whoop-de.
No, it's cool. Yeah, it's a cool little thing. It's like a little. It runs Linux and plugs into TVs and basically allows you to throw your screen up onto a TV. And it's hackable. It's already been hacked too. That's the other thing.
Oh, right. Has it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's sold out immediately. So.
But it hooks up to Netflix and all that, which we don't get here. You know, it's like.
Oh, you don't? Oh, that's too bad.
No, we don't have Netflix here.
Yeah, dude, living in the States really sucks. Oh, darn. At least we're not Sydney.
I don't even know what Netflix is. I don't even know how it works because we just don't have it. You know,
it's like streaming video. It's like what you do with torrents, basically.
Yeah,
it's like that except legal and more instant.
Okay. Yep.
It's like YouTube except you pay up front for like $9.
Right, and it comes over the cable, does it? Is that the traditional?
Well, no, it comes over your internet. It comes over your internet connection.
Oh, it comes over your internet, right?
Yeah.
But you'd have to have like an unlimited internet plan otherwise it'd chew up. If you're watching that all day and all night,
yeah, we have that here too.
Wouldn't it?
So we don't have bandwidth caps here.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, a few of the companies do that here, like Telstra, who run the cable here.
Yeah.
You can watch their content isn't metered, so they have, all of your regular stuff is metered, but if you watch their paid content, it's not metered, so it doesn't count towards your quota.
Right, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. So, yep. Yeah, can't wait for that. Maybe we'll get all sorts of stuff like that when the National Broadband Network.
Oh yeah.
Finally makes it here, and we have fibre into every home like every other bastard keeps pointing out. Thank you very much, people. I always get these tweets. Well, I have 100 megabits upload and download for $20 a month. What's your problem? You know.
Where's that?
Bite me.
Man, that's.
Bastards.
We're not getting that in Cleveland anytime soon.
Anyone who's got faster internet than me is a bastard. End of story.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a soundbite.
I guess the last thing I'll mention. So I mentioned the meetup. We had a meetup in New York that went great. Thanks to everyone who came out to that. We're gonna have another meetup. How many people
turned up?
That was about 10.
Cool.
We'll have another one at Open Hardware Summit probably Thursday night somewhere around town, and then the other thing though is Cleveland's gonna have meetups because I met up with Martin Lorton, who you know from YouTube, and hopefully everybody knows his videos.
He's a fellow full-time blogger now. He's the only other one doing it full-time. So both myself and Martin are doing it full-time. So if you're not watching his channel, please support him.
Yeah,
because supporting people like us helps encourage other people to think that they can do it full-time one day and help encourage them produce content.
Definitely.
So you're not just helping us, you're helping the whole industry.
He's been doing intro videos too. He's doing a power supply build.
Yep.
He's kind of working up to that too. So, and he's got a lot of good stuff. I mean, he was nice enough to mention the amp hour and contextual electronics on his thought for the day segment too. So, very cool. And he is a nice chap. We had a beer or three, and and we're going to be doing that regularly in Cleveland. So if there are any Cleveland listeners,
right, that's going to be a regular nerd meetup, is it?
Yeah, we're thinking just like one Thursday a month, basically, just kind of parking it at a bar and
I should do that. I should do a meetup.com thing.
Dude,
and have that as a regular.
Exactly. And other people should do that too, because it's not hard. Basically, if people need help getting that set up, we'll definitely announce it on here. Because it's sometimes it's really hard to find other people who are interested in this stuff.
Yep.
And when you actually get to sit down and talk to someone about it, man, it feels like it's just so natural and like you're like, finally someone because even like you'll go to work, like I'll go to work sometimes and it's just like I'll have people who are technically proficient and who I like as people, but it's just like we're just not interested. We don't get as excited about the same things, And and when you're sitting with someone like that, and just shooting the breeze and talking about projects and stuff. It's basically like this, me and Dave every week. Like we get to just have a chat every week.
Shoot the shit. Yeah,
exactly. It's great. And when you can do that in person, it's even better. So Dave's gonna fly to Cleveland one of these weeks.
Right. Yeah.
Hang out with me and Martin.
No worries.
Yeah. God, can you imagine flying all the way here? Just go to Cleveland.
Yeah, quick 20-hour flight. Yeah.
The Dave Jones, the Midwest tour. Yeah. You'd see some sweet car factories. You know that.
Right. What, abandoned sweet car factories?
You just wouldn't be able to touch anything. You'd get written up to the union.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think a meet-up, like just a get-together dinner meet-up is better? Like, because I've always thought, I'd love to have like a sort of a meet-up in the lab.
No. Go, third-party location. Yeah, right. Then you don't have to worry about any of the hosting or anything like that. Even if you can't make it, then that's good too.
Yeah, no, because everyone else just turns up and they...
Exactly. That's the power of doing those kind of things, It's just and especially if you have it on the regular day, like the third Thursday of the month or something like that, like that.
Right. Yeah.
That's a really good way to do it, and I don't know.
The problem with Sydney is that it's so geographically dispersed.
Yeah, you know what though?
With an ED.
Yeah, but for talking to people about nerdy electronic stuff that you can't get many other places other than like a forum, it's worth the drive. Like that's the thing.
It's worth. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will.
Totally should go.
Just bugger it. I'll do it, even if one person turns up.
That's the other. Yeah, that's the other good thing. Like it doesn't matter if it's just one person or, if you actually drink beer, then if it's just you.
I'll ask on the forum to see how many people would be interested in a weekly meetup, and if I can get a couple of people.
Just do it.
Yeah, but then I got it'd be nice to know where people live so that you can choose like a central location kind of thing,
Nope.
for at least a core group of people.
Nope, just pick it and go. No, that's the thing.
Just pick and go.
I'm telling you, every time I go to a city now, like it's just the way to do it. You just pick a place, and if people can make it, they can. If they can't, they can't. Right. And next time, if you can't do it, then we'll get you next time. That's the best part about it. So, like I said, if people need help publicizing meetups, let us know.
But you've got to book a private room, because if you try and do it in like the middle of a pub and you're all just sitting in a booth and everyone's trying to, if you you get all the babble of all the.
Yeah, no. In New York, it was like we got a big table basically in the back room of a bar, and we just reserved it, and then you just move around a lot. That's the thing. It's better. Right. It's best if you just have a stand-up event.
Right. Okay.
Like restaurants don't like that as much, but. Yeah,
nice.
That's the way to do it, man.
I think I might.
Nerds being social.
But then again, I'm not a very social animal. Yeah, see, I'm not a very social animal.
Oh, yes, you are.
Never
You'll
have
be fine.
been.
You'll be fine. It's the same thing with conferences,
my entire childhood in my lab on my own. I'm not a social animal.
Seriously, it's like you'll get this dose of it once a month, and then you go recover, right? That's just how it goes. It's like Maker Fairs like that. Like Open Hardware Summits like that. It's like this intense. Meeting a lot of people, talking about fun stuff, and then you just go. Right. You got to unwind, because if you don't, you'll go crazy.
And I think weekly's too much. You would have it like once a month, right?
Once a month, definitely. Yep.
Once every 3 weeks or something. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Can we end the show now, Dave? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, we can. Oh, why? Yeah. You got something better to do? You have you got another startup idea to go and do this week?
Well, I do have some videos to make. I got a crap load of videos to make still. So
I've done my video today. Yes,
I know you're done.
I
what
don't
are you gonna
have
do all
to.
day?
This is. I don't know. I was thinking about listing a whole bunch of shit on eBay. Because I was complaining to my brother-in-law the other day who came to the lab, and I was complaining everything keeps coming into the lab, but nothing ever goes back out. I'm just hoarding stuff, and it's getting ridiculous.
And my basement's like that.
So
it's like a black hole. You could just give it away.
Anyway, so that's what I'll probably do, and I've got to finish off my little project that I'm doing for my new segment,
which I named.
Which you did name, so I will thank you now if I don't get around to thanking you in the first video.
Oh, you better thank me in the video. That better be like the whole first video. Let me tell you all about Chris.
The whole first video was just bowing to Chris, Let
me tell you how much Cleveland is awesome.
Right. That's the price I've got to pay for the name.
Yeah. Oh, God,
I've got to compliment Cleveland.
That's the naming rights, yeah. The EV Blab. All right, man. Well, I guess we'll... next week. That's the last announcement. This Dave doesn't even know. We are going to have the entire Spark Funds engineering team on the show next week. It's going to be insane. So I'll have a post up.
You haven't passed this by me.
I know. I don't care. We're
going
to have seven.
Are we talking about?
7 engineers on their end. I just sent them all the equipment.
Dude, this is not going to work.
It's going to be pandemonium. This is not
going to work. I may as well not show up. I won't even get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, you won't talk much. That's fine. It'll be fun. Believe me. So if people have questions for the Spark Fun engineering team, next week we'll have a post up to get your questions in. I'm really glad I remembered. Yeah. So next week I'm excited, man. It's gonna be crazy nuts. So.
And it's probably going to fail miserably because we've got too many people. I warned you about this.
I know you did.
I warned you that having more than one guest it doesn't work. And we'll see how well it doesn't work next week.
Yes, that's right.
I can say I told you so.
Yep, you can tell me then.
Bye.
See ya. This episode was brought to you by NetBurner. NetBurner allows you to get your embedded network solution up and running quickly, so you can get your prototype or your final product out the door faster than any other solution available today. To hear more about the hardware, software, and friendly build environment, and to get a listener discount, go to netburner.com/theamphour.